this is where I want to talk to you about bill rates and about the really economics. And this is where Dr. Auerbach was able to help me. So I wanted you to focus on the blue line. The blue line takes the bill rate of $74. This is the average travel nursing bill rate in 2015. And the blue line only increases that rate at the rate of inflation. Okay? So for the past 10 years, the blue line's only increased at the rate of inflation. So if the bill rate from 2015 were to grow exactly at that rate, it would be $100 today. The red line tracks what the actual bill rate has been during that time, and you can see that right now it's gone to $92. That's 14% below where it really should be if it tracked with inflation. You can see a little bit of that backstory. 2016, it was a little above. It course corrected 2018-19. So keep in mind, this will be a part of kind of the next 2 or 3 slides, but right now the travel nursing bill rates are further below the inflationary curve than they've ever been in the time since we've tracked it. Another way to look at that is just to say, take inflation totally out of the picture. If you were to say, all right, there's no inflation, it never happened, our dollars today are worth the same as our dollars were in 2015, the travel nursing bill rates today would be $64. So I'm going to talk in a second about what some of the pressures that's creating, but that's important for you guys to know. At the same time, and this is, we heard this a bit in the room today as we talked about wages. Okay, is doing that next $4 increase, should we do that? This is simply saying that in the last decade, basically, hospital compensation has far outpaced inflation. Okay, so you have a dynamic in which hospital compensations outpaced the rate of inflation, and that travel compensation has been under the rate of inflation. So, that what's happening because of that, and this would be, again, common sense, but I just want to show you the data on this. This shows you the percent of total FTE RNs in the country that are travelers. And you can see that prior to the pandemic, that was in the high 1%, 1 to almost 2%. You can see that went to about 5%, and that is, again, normalizing. And the pay is a big part of that. So, hey, if I can work in the hospital and kind of make more than what inflation has dictated, that's a great thing. If I work in the agency and make less, that's a hard thing. Agencies are trying to counteract that, and I want to show you here, this is a 5-year look at agency margins, and I'll just draw really where the bill rate goes. So I'll just draw your attention to this blue line, and you can see a pretty steady march from 2019 to 2024 that a higher percent of the bill rate is going to the nurse. So now it's about 80% of the bill rate's going there. So you're seeing basically staffing agencies are saying we have a smaller pool of nurses that are traveling. We're not comfortable with our business shrinking, and so what do we need to do? Well, we're fighting over this smaller pool of nurses that are traveling. We need to keep trying to pay them more. And you can see that in this data. You can also see in the margin data at the very bottom that the margin for, and this is hundreds of staffing agencies that report this data to our industry association, you can see that their bottom line margin is about half of what it was